So Elon Musk was attacked and smeared on Twitter the other day for being pro-Putin, pro-Kremlin. Now, understand, I'm not pro-Russia. I condemn what Putin is doing right now, invading Ukraine. But the only way that this war, this invasion is going to end is through a peace treaty. It's going to end by the UN getting involved, there being a peace treaty being signed. So Elon Musk decided to poll his audience on Twitter, and here's what he said. Here's what he proposed. Um, he proposes we redo the elections of annexed regions under UN supervision, with Russia leaving if that is the will of the people. Crimea, in regard to Crimea, Crimea becomes formally part of Russia as it has since 1783. And the water supply to Crimea is reassured, and Ukraine remains neutral. Because there's a reason why Ukraine getting involved in NATO would just escalate the situation. And so we look at the results of his poll, and they're 40.9% say yes, and 59.1% say no. It used to be way higher than 50% before the bots came in. Now, I know that the text is backwards on my phone, but Zelensky decided to respond by doing another poll. In his poll, it said, "Which Elon Musk do you like more? One who supports Ukraine or one who supports Russia?" Which is just a loaded question. He wants to smear him as being pro-Kremlin. Elon Musk replies with nuance and says, "I still very much support Ukraine, but I'm convinced that massive escalation of the war will cause great harm to Ukraine and possibly the world." And you also get another tweet I'd like to show you is from Gary Kasparov, the chess guy, who's a pro NATO, pro military industrial complex shill. So here's what he said. "This is moral idiocy, repetition of Kremlin propaganda, a betrayal of Ukrainian courage and sacrifice, and puts a few minutes browsing Crimea on Wikipedia over the current horrific reality of Putin's bloody war." And so let me just conclude by saying, peace is what we need. We don't need war. We don't need sanctions. The U.S. doesn't need to be sending any more aid that it already has. That aid that money that they're spent in Ukraine could go to healthcare. It could go to education. It could go to giving clean drinking water to Flint, Michigan, to Jackson, Mississippi. And we need peace. We need to make peace with Russia and Ukraine. And people who want to smear people who support peace, they do that because they're funded by NATO, they're funded by the CIA, they're funded by the military-industrial complex to argue that we need to go to war forever because it helps the profits of defense contractors. And they're pushing war, and if we continue to push this war, we're just going to go get closer and closer to World War III. And you don't want that. So we need peace in the region, and don't let anyone let you believe otherwise. Don't believe any of the propaganda that's coming out about we must support Ukraine or else you support Russia. Anyway, there you have it.